Poverty and cost of living hit Britain like never seen before. Poverty is deeply rooted in the UK, with a decade of cuts meaning millions of families across the country are struggling through financial hardship. Many more are being pushed below the breadline, as the cost of living crisis hits low-income households the hardest. The cost of living crisis will worsen poverty rates, with more than 1 million people set to be plunged into poverty this winter. Many will struggle to afford the basics to live and rely on food banks, and the newly established warm banks, to survive as temperatures plummet. Life events, like illness or redundancy, can cause poverty. But it is mostly caused by structural issues, and exacerbated by increasing living costs, creating a cycle that keeps people trapped in hardship. That can include unemployment and low-paid, insecure work. People who have not had easy access to training or education can struggle to land a secure job, making it harder to escape poverty. The UK's welfare system also makes it difficult for those struggling to get a decent income. Social security is not enough for people in work, looking for work, or dealing with health issues to avoid poverty. Benefits can be difficult to access, and in some cases mean people risk lowering their income by getting a job. It's particularly difficult for people dealing with mental health issues like addiction to escape poverty, and people who have been in prison can find it difficult to get a job to support themselves. The cost of living crisis, fueled by stagnating wages, Brexit, global oil price fluctuations, the pandemic, and the war in Ukraine, means that millions are facing poverty. Poverty drives chronic stress, as a result of worrying about how to afford living costs day to day, increases feelings of hopelessness, makes it more difficult to access healthcare, and lowers self-esteem. That stress and difficulty affording nutritious food also means those living in poverty are more likely to experience health problems, while finding it tougher to get treatment. This is worsened by soaring fuel bills amid the energy crisis. People in poverty are also less likely to have strong social support networks around them, because all their energy has to be used to survive with few resources. This puts them at higher risk of homelessness and addiction problems. Children living in poverty are more at risk of being exploited by or becoming victim to criminal gangs, the Children's Commissioner warned, highlighting local authority failure to stop disadvantaged children from falling through the cracks in services. Disability also significantly increases someone's chances of falling into poverty. It means extra living costs, care costs, and difficulty finding suitable work. Poverty significantly impacts migrants too. The government's no recourse to public funds policy locks people out of the social security system depending on their immigration status. It drives high poverty rates, and puts them at an elevated risk of homelessness. The UK's poorest households accounted for nearly half of those hit by debt, and were paying out 3 times more than indebted households with the highest incomes. It was down to low pay, cuts to the welfare system, and insecure work. What should the policy makers do to alleviate this problem? Please comment below. Interested in our amazing ebook site? Please check the link in description box.